resuscitation for patients in hemorrhagic shock who are at risk for hemorrhagic shock, for volume deficit, hypotonic fluid excess, or simply to dilute medications that are being given via the IV. But all of these would not be possible unless the IV fluids are correctly chosen and set up. Today I will be demonstrating the proper selection and setup of IV administration and the piggyback of medication administration. Today we will discuss how to 1. Choose the correct fluids, 2. Properly set up and prime the lining, and 3. Attach it to your patient and set up the piggyback technique. As a medic at the 673rd Medical Group, we go through 20 proper IVs a day, and I know this like the back of my hand. So first we will start off by choosing the proper fluid. The proper fluid selecting is based on what the fluid is needed for. For whole blood, that would be given to a patient in hemorrhagic shock, and you have 30 minutes to 4 hours to administer it to the patient. Another fluid you would give is 5% dextrose, which is proven to help negate the negative effects of hypernatremia that is caused by hypotonic fluid excess. Or lastly, you would use normal saline, which is used in every day for patients who are dehydrated, who have symptoms like vomiting and diarrhea, or to simply dilute a medication that you are giving via the IV. So that's what we'll be using today. For the next step, I will be demonstrating how to properly set up the tubing. The first thing you will do is take the sterile spike and insert it into the bag, like so. Make sure not to insert this too firmly, or you will put a hole in the bag, which will result in all of the fluids hitting the ground and not the patient. Next, you will squeeze the pump down here twice, 1, 2, making sure not to fill it up entirely too much. Overfilling it will not allow the nurse enough space to see if the medication is actually infusing. Third, you will straighten out the line and you will roll up the cap like this. This opens up the line, allowing all the fluid to flow through it, taking out all of the air bubbles. For the last step, we will now connect it to our patient. The first thing you will do is take this, which is the lower lock, and insert it into the hep lock on the patient. For the next step from this, you will roll back up the clamp, allowing the fluid to flow, and you will check the patient's arm to make sure that the fluid is constantly flowing and that everything is doing all right. Lastly, I will teach you guys about the piggyback technique. To set up the piggyback technique, you will use all of the steps I just showed you, but for this one. So you'll take the sterile cap and you'll insert it into the bag like so, filling the pump slightly. This one does not matter too much on how high it is filled or how low. We will close off the clamp before attaching it to this. You will connect this bag to this line. And this will dilute your medication. Some medications burn or have risk of rapid infusion when going into the patient. So the piggyback technique is the perfect technique that you would use for this. Next, you would roll this back up, ensure that this is flowing, ensure that this one is still flowing, and if need be, for sometimes, you have to raise the bag to help gravity really help you. So you raise it up just a little, and now everything's flowing well. So today, I just taught you guys on how to properly choose, prime, and set up an IV bag, and how to properly choose, prime, and set up for the piggyback technique for medication administration.